Okay, live. Good morning, everybody. This is Lawrence Kazan Cassini. Let's do this as well. Sorry, 1 second. You can't? Well, I am live on the HCPN Alliance. I think. Can you see it? Good morning, Mark. Good morning, everybody. I don't know what happened with this. Oh, God. Perfect. Okay. Star 9. Good morning, everybody. This is Lawrence Kazan Cassini. I'm sorry we're a minute and a half late. I just wanted to thank you for being on the call, and to start off with thinking about Thanksgiving, which was yesterday, but it's actually every day. And before we actually get into it, I would like to just make a little shout out to Wes, and hope that he's recovering very well, and also be grateful for the fact that he is recovering, and also with Scott Bennett with his little boy who had a very serious accident, and thankfully he's recovering as well. So those are just a couple of things that I just wanted to bring out. So good morning, Sam, Mark, Deborah, Mercedes. So today I'd like to reflect a little bit on the year that has just gone by, in terms of what changes during the year did you have? Good changes, bad changes. You know, we should be grateful for the bad changes as well, because we learn from them. So the reflection is Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, we've got to kind of like think about all the good things that have happened, all the challenges we've had, and what did we learn from that? What did we improve from that? So, an example, years ago, I had a very bad experience with, in my flower business. I sent flowers, and eventually the company didn't pay me, and it was a huge amount of money for me at the time. It was like $700,000. And I sued the buyer in Holland, and the judge said, "No, you're at fault. Me. I'm the one who supplied the flowers." And I said, "Why?" He said, "Because you shouldn't have trusted so much money without having everything tied down more securely." It was a long story how to get there. But anyway, just at that time, I was listening also to or reading about the Dalai Lama, and he said, "You should thank the thief." I said, "That's strange. Thank the thief?" "Yes, because he's taught you something." So if we can learn from whatever negative things happen or challenges we have, as well as from the good things, obviously, then I think we should do that. So give thanks to the challenges we've had, and hopefully we've learned from them. So my question is, have you been disciplined during the year? Your health, your fitness, relaxation. I just completed 250 Pilates classes. I didn't even realize I had done that. But my Pilates, the school, posted on one of the social medias that I'd connected, that I'd done 250 classes. The point is, I hadn't even noticed I'd done that. But it's called the compound effect. A little bit every day, just a little bit every day. At the end of the year, it's a huge thing. It's a huge thing. So it's important that we understand that small actions every day, positive things or even negative, at the end of the year will have a big consequence. So, there's an old saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Well, how to become a blue diamond? One brand rep at a time. That's basically what we're looking at. If you do 3 contacts a day, and it's 5 days a week, is 15 days. 15 days. 15 contacts a week. 50 weeks. That's 750 contacts a year. If only 10% of those become active and are contacts that have panned out to do something good with our company, that's 75 people. 75 people in a year, just with doing 3 a day. And that's at 10% of all of those. So the thing is, what do you need? Well, Ernest Shackleton said, be a selfless leader. Your needs are greater than mine. Focus on how to solve your prospects' pains. If we do that, if we focus on the pains of the prospect and we help them solve those, our own pains will not even appear. So find a friend in the business. Make a powerful relationship. But to do that, you've got to empower yourself as best you can. But before you as to do that, you read, if you like to read, Og Mandino, the greatest salesman in the world. Those are empowering books. The Slight Edge, Unleash the Power Within, Tony Robbins. All of these things give us the attitude and give us the feeling that we can do things. There are no limitations. No limitations. So empower yourself so that you can empower others. You may and will encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. You must never be defeated. Of course there are hiccups. Of course there are challenges. I've lost everything I own 3 times. Sounds like, what? Yes, I chose to live and see the world. I chose to live in countries that were, in the English way to say it, dodgy. They were kind of like, who wants to go to Nigeria in the 60s? I mean, really? So I mention this because even though I was given 4 hours to leave Mozambique when the government fell, the person had been a terrorist became a guerrilla fighter. Then he became president of the country and he kicked the Portuguese out. I was living in Mozambique at the time. My wife was pregnant with my first child, so it's exactly 45 years ago. And I was given 4 hours to leave. Start again. I was Zimbabwe, everything's gone out the window. So Colombia, same thing, I lost everything there. So the point I'm trying to make is that we even though we have challenges, even though we feel down sometimes, even though we think things are really, really tough, and we know things are tough, but we've got to get up, and we've got to rally our own forces. And that depends on how strongly you feel about how you are and who you are. You know, there's the old saying, if you think you can, you're right. If you think you cannot, you're probably right. The size of the challenge is directly proportional to the emotion in which we see it. You see it as a big problem, probably will be a big problem. See it as a small problem, probably a small problem. It's the same thing you're looking at. It's your attitude. So until I came to America, I had never, ever washed a dish, ever. I lived in the tropics. I lived all over the world. And so we're entertaining. And I'm horrified, first time, to see the sink full of dishes. And I thought to myself, oh, it's going to take me forever to clean those dishes. I've got a dishwasher, but to figure it all out, I mean, a whole bunch of people came. And I saw that and I started cleaning the dishes. And I thought, oh, this is interminable. It's forever. Why goodness, it's a long chore. And that I did for several times. Until one day, I put into my mind that when I went to do the dishes, I just put into my mind, wow, I've nearly finished. Same amount of dishes. But in my mind, I thought, I've nearly finished. And the time it took me to clean those dishes was exactly the same. But in my mind, it was much quicker when I thought that I'd nearly finished. And it was a much easier chore. So I looked at it the first time and I thought, oh, I'm never going to do this. But when I put into my mind that it's possible to do and I've nearly done it, it just went in a minute. So what I want to say is, don't allow the cobwebs of uncertainty cloud your vision or resolve. Stay focused at all times. And in our business, I'd like to say to you, have the courage to be willing to fail. That's a big word. And why? Well, invest in yourself. You have to invest in yourself. The person you are is the person that most talks to you. That's the person that most talks to you, is who you are. And we've got these two opinions. We've got these, what I call wolves. One is a positive one is a negative one. The wolf that will survive is the one you feed. So if you feed your positive wolf, that's what will happen. So the only way to fail is if you quit. Sometimes we're placed against all sorts of little odds and problems and so on. But the only way we can fail is if we quit. So leadership is the capacity to translate a vision into reality. Take people from where they are to a place they've never been. I think John Maxwell said that, I think. So here's an example. We've got 2,000 scanners approximately, as far as I know, in the States working at the moment. 2,000 approximately. Why not have 3,000 by the end of next year? Whoa, that's an extra 1,000, that's 50% more. Well, if each distributor gets one new scanner a month, and that is duplicated by each distributor and the person they've got, think about it. A doctor sees 3,000 to 5,000 patients a year. If 10% of those go on a supplement, LifePak, $68. That's 10% of 3,000 is 300 patients on a supplement, on LifePak. The doctor will have a sale of $20,400 coming in. That's 300 by $68. If you only make 25%, you're not at the 40%, just using an average, 25%, that's $5,000 from that one doctor that you will make, that I will make. You get 30 doctors to do 300 patients a year at $68. That's $612,000. At 12% is $153,000 a year. That's $12,750 a month. Wait a minute. $1 million saved in the bank at 5% would be $50,000 a year. Residual income, passive income. So 50,000 is $4,166 a month. If we get 30 scanners working as they should, that's the equivalent of $3 million at the bank at in the bank at 5%, which is your $150,000 a year. Is it simple? Yes. Is it easy? Absolutely not. But you've got to choose whether you want to save $1 million in the bank, or whether you can get into a program of your, if you can get into your, set your goals, be sure of what you want, be disciplined, the compound effect, all of these things come into play. That's where we look towards achieving what we want to do, what our goals are. I've had over 40 scanners returned. 40 scanners returned. Placing scanners is one thing. Making them produce is another. It's like, my God, I don't know, sell a car. That's everybody at the time needs a car, but then you got to teach them how to drive it properly. Teach a scanner operator to drive this thing in a proper way. It's the foundation. It's a solid thing. The rush of placing the scanner can be blurred by the return of the scanner. I'm an expert at having banged my head against my own thrill of the sale. As Wes says, take the time it takes to do it right the first time, so it will not take unnecessary time later. This is a business it's our business. We can plan it. We've got to make sure we understand that every action we take, no matter how small, can be positive or negative. But we've got to keep in the end in mind. Remember, consistent, persistent, daily action leads to long-term results, positive or negative. You choose. Would you hire you? So we've basically covered a few things about taking people to where they've never been. Well, 1,000 scanners. All right, how many of those extra scanners do you want to place? Set a goal. What are you going to do with that? How to do that? How are you going to spend your time? How will you discipline your time? So it's important that we take this time to reflect on the year, to be thankful for what we've done, what we've achieved, even the negative things, which you hopefully have learned from, to make very clear, disciplined, organized plan of action for the next month, for the next 6 months, for the next year, for the next decade. So basically, compound effect is one of the themes that I wanted to touch on particularly. And the mindset. It's all about your mindset, how you feel about yourself, how you feel about what you're doing. Hello, Bob, Heather, Dade, Didi, sorry, Didi, Jim, Gordy, Chris. Lots of comments here. I'm a guy. I'm still one-track minded. I'm not very good at multitasking, but thank you for all the comments that are coming in. Nigeria in the 60s. Yeah, it was Nigeria in the 60s. Nigeria got its independence in 1960, and I was there a couple of years later. And today it is one of the professors of corruption on the planet. Everybody in Nigeria, most of the people in Nigeria have been brought up with it. So Jim Trainer says, make your friends for life. Yes, this is a business where actually some of my best friends now are people that I've met in this business because we've gone forward together. We've built a relationship. That's what it is. Do I have a canary? I'm so sorry. I've got to make soup out of those little budgies. Then I inherited them, so not my choice. Sorry about that. So the thing is mindset. We have the tools. We have the company. We're in the perfect storm. Can you imagine? Many people in the healthcare industry right now are really worried and suffering and are worried about where the future lies. Ours is crystal clear. Our future in the preventive medicine healthcare industry, where we are, is crystal clear. We're at the beginning of a tsunami in preventive medicine. And we have the tools, we've got the company, we've got the science, the technology, the innovation, the passport to the future. My gosh, it's really exciting times. So January 16, 17, 18, we've got another preventive medicine healthcare business symposium. I don't know if we all noticed that subtle addition to the title of the Preventive Medicine Symposium. It's Preventive Medicine Healthcare Business Symposium. And this is where I think we should focus as well. I think we've got over the time when we're concerned about, talking about money. Right now, the economy is doing well. Many sectors are doing well. The healthcare is not doing so well. I get an email daily email from a company or some group that's called Becker's. And it's astounding how the healthcare, the hospitals, many doctors, the whole thing is in revolution right now. In Spanish, they say, when the ocean is in turmoil, sometimes it's the best time to fish because the fish are all over the place. In our case right now, the fish, the doctors, the healthcare is all over the place. We've really got an excellent opportunity to do that. And if we just be disciplined, this was my lesson in life, to be disciplined, to be organized, to learn from the experiences. These are my lessons. I have to be disciplined, to plan adequately. I've always been let down. I was one of those that when I planned, I eventually gave up planning because every time I planned something, it would all go to, all over the place. It wouldn't happen. I was going to say go to pot, but that's not exactly the word. But when I planned, it never seemed to work. So it's important that we do plan because we've got the infrastructure of a company. We've got the timing of an industry which is in revolution. Our healthcare, it's in a mess. So think about it. I suggest or recommend you read the book by Darrell Hardy called The Compound Effect. The Slight Edge is an excellent book. And Unleash the Power Within. These are just three that come to mind. Well, also there's Outwitting the Devil, which I mentioned before, which is Napoleon Hill. That's a very, very good one too. So if we get the mind right, and we take advantage of where we are, what we have. So I give very big thanks for being in America. I'm very grateful for what I have, for what America has offered. I think we should be grateful and give thanks to the armed forces, to all the people that help us to be able to maintain our freedom. And I think we're very privileged. I've lived in 13 or 14 countries, or 14 including the States, and honestly, I cannot overemphasize the absolute privilege that we have being in America. But we take things for granted. That's a big shame. We really shouldn't. We should every day think about what we have and what other people don't have due to various circumstances. So just say good morning, Emilio. Mark, see you in January. Good. Sorry about the Canaries, guys. Julie Nagata, nice to see you. Canada, I think. Chris Sudinger, good morning. So I appreciate you all being on the call, and just give a shout out for Wes and for Scott with his baby boy. Grateful for them, grateful for where we are. And guys, we're at the beginning of really exciting times. We're at a tsunami of preventive medicine, and we have the passport to do that. Science, technology, innovation. Get out of the comfort zone of wherever you are. Think about massive action. 1,000 scanners. This team. We can. Yes, we can. If we all do our part. So I think I'll end there. I don't want to bore everybody, but yeah, we are privileged to be in the States. So everybody have a really good month of next week, but December, that's the beginning. Don't forget, we also have the Nu Skin part of ourselves, which is for presents too. I mean, we get points for giving presents. We give points for Nu Skin as well. There are a lot of people that use the Nu Skin products. I use, my wife uses, all my friends use. So we also have points that we can make with Christmas. And now's the time to think about it. Even though I don't focus on Nu Skin as a business, the Nu Skin, I focus on Pharmanex. But wow, everybody uses a skin product. Everybody uses some kind of I want to say embellishment, but some kind of thing to make them look better and feel better. So Christmas is here. Now's the time to actually invest in looking at what other Nu Skin products we've got, what presents we have, what we can. We get paid for those. Nourish the Children. That's another one. I'm working hard with some people on Nourish the Children. You know, it's Christmas. It's Thanksgiving. It's time to help. It's time to give. I spoke to someone this week. They actually had a food bank, and they gave away 6,000 meals. Every year they do that. It's called HAT, H-A-T Association. And I was blown away. 6,000 meals? Wow. So really, it's exciting times. We're privileged. We have the passport to the future. We're at the tsunami of preventive medicine. Let's go get it. 1,000 scanners. Come on, guys. Let's do it. Have a good day. Blessings.